So guys, 2 years ago, I was addicted to music. I would have my AirPods in wherever I was throughout the day, at school, on the couch, on walks, on drives. It probably amounted to like 6+ hours of music a day. It was fucking wild. But I loved it because I think the problem was I couldn't sit in silence with myself. So I had to use this music as a vice to escape. And music is a great thing, and I'm really happy it exists. And I'm not one of those guys who's fully anti-music. But in this video, I want to share the pros and cons that I personally have with music. And I think you should reconsider your fucking commitment and what type of music you listen to as well. So yeah, the first thing, sad music. I was addicted to sad music because I thought the way to stop feeling sad, especially during quarantine a couple years ago when school started back up, I thought the way to stop feeling sad was to relate to other people who are feeling sad through your music. Fucking artists like Trippie Redd, X, Juice WRLD, bro. Those guys were my life, and I still love those artists. But now I have an appreciation because I can go back to their music and just look at it as an art form instead of in the emotion they put into it, instead of relating that emotion to my own life. Because now my life is so much happier and just so in a way better spot than it was 2 years ago. And even my life right now, it's in a way better spot than it was 6 months ago. So life changes, and no matter if you're going through an up or down, sad music won't make that feeling better no matter where you are. Sad music also just gives you a reason to not put in the work to stop feeling sad, because it prolongs this sadness and just always makes the vibes of this fucking sadness filtrate through your mind and body 24/7, and you can't escape the feeling. And the way to escape the feeling, honestly, is to stop focusing on the feeling and focus on the actions you need to take to get to better yourself. For me, it was just getting in the gym was the main one, and that transpired into doing other things like meditation, cold showers, just things that really made me confident with myself. And I shocked myself because I was like, I started doing things that I never thought I could do before, and that made me just not relate to the sad music as much. And honestly, I kind of replaced that sad music with happier music, and that kind of coincided with my growth as a person. Start off with the bad side, the cons of the music you're listening to. If you're a big fucking hip-hop rap fan like I am, dude, you know how good that shit can be and how awesome music feels to listen to. But you know the subject matter is dog shit 90% of the time. Unless you're listening to Kendrick, some introspective shit. Bro, if you're listening to Ken Carson or one of those guys, dude, it's all drugs, sex, and money. And at some point, if you're listening to it especially a lot, it's gonna, subtrate in your mind. You're gonna feel the vibes of that, and it's gonna leave a sour taste in your mouth for the world. And you're just gonna think, oh, fuck, bitches get money. That's your goals in life. It's it makes you so shallow. It's so weird. It also makes you like everyone else, because it's you're kind of drawn, and your motivations are kind of led by the 7 deadly sins, lust, gluttony, pride, all those fucking horrible sins that God warns you about. And you're falling right into the devil's trap, listening to the shit all day and glorifying the message that they're bringing you. Now, the way I combat this is to listen to that music while doing something else, because it will take the focus off the lyrics, and you'll just more feel the vibe of the music. You'll coincide and relate to the vibe and the feel and the memory it creates with that music. Let's say, some examples, just hitting a workout, listening to shit. If you're hitting a workout, most of the time you're not listening to the lyrics of the song. You're just kind of feeling the bass, the energy, the fucking getting pumped up. You live for that shit. It makes you feel good. And also just on a bike ride, if you're driving, just shit, there's an extra activity to do that kind of subconsciously takes your mind off the lyrics of the music and puts you in a mode where you're doing something. Swerve in the car, driving the car while listening to music is an awesome feeling. And it's way better doing that than or just going on a run with music, walking with music, being in a social setting with friends with music. Music can bring so many people together from, all of the shared emotions and vibrations going through your fucking ears, dude. It's kind of weird how music works, just these sound waves, these invisible sound waves going through the air 24/7, all these sounds, but they coincide to make an amazing experience. So use it wisely and don't fucking use it stupidly. Don't overuse it and flood your brain with dopamine. Another problem is this music brings you so much extra dopamine, especially like I used to play video games last summer. And while I was playing a video game, I'd listen to like a new album or music while I was playing the video game. It's like I have hella dopamine already, and just that extra surplus makes it even like a crazier thing. And just fries your brain, because over time, doing that every night, every weekend, dude, if you're in school or if you're like hanging out with someone, you're gonna be bored as fuck. You're gonna be pulling out your phone because you need that dopamine 24/7. Especially if you're listening to music while on a hangout with people, dude. I know people who do that. It's kind of fucking, I don't consider it rude anymore. Like, I'm over that. Like, touche. Do you. If you like that music, that's cool. But rather, I'd say share it with other people, because it makes everyone feel what you're feeling and thinking what you're thinking, because it's a shared experience. Instead of just you in your head alone with music, you're getting hella dopamine, and it feels great until you take off the AirPods, until you take off the headphones, you know? Boom. And then you're just sit alone with your thoughts. It's like, oh fuck, the world sucks. I need my music again. I wouldn't go cold turkey, but you gotta reduce that shit over and over. Cold turkey would work if you have really great willpower, but most people like me aren't at that level yet. So just reduce it slowly but surely every week, every month. Cut back, dude. Let's say you listen to 8 hours of music today. Tomorrow, listen to 7. Next week, listen to 5. And then you slowly start to pick and choose when you want to listen to your music and the experience that make it most memorable and make it matter most to you. Because unless you have, you know, an experience where like you feel like you need it, then just cut it out. Because honestly, if you're just with your presence, you'll be able to have a clearer mind and just think and produce better work throughout the day. Because you're not, it's like the songs won't get stuck in your head. You'll have a clear mind to work. And that is how you keep music to a minimum while still enjoying the benefits it has, because, you know, shit can hype you up. Now, the pros of music, dude. Like I said earlier, listen to hype music and focus on the vibe of the fucking song, dude. Because hype music kind of does the opposite of sad music psychologically. It makes you more pumped in this moment. And I've had days where I don't want to show up to the gym, but I use willpower to show up, discipline to show up. And when I show up, after you hit a set in the gym listening to hype music, dude, you're gonna be there the whole workout. Let's be real. Like, the thought of like, oh shit, I have to go to the gym, this is a perilous task, this is gonna take a lot of energy out of me. But then the second you get there, you don't care about that shit, because you have your music, you have yourself, you're showed up, you're happy to be there, you know, instead of sitting on the couch eating potato chips. So yeah, use hype music to your advantage. Sad music, love music, still love it. But, you know, it really hits differently when you're thinking about an experience with that music, because music is the most powerful for me when I associate it with an experience. If you're listening to a song and you're like, oh my gosh, I remember that time when I was with my friends and we were at a party and that song came on, and it was like everyone was living their best life, because songs associate with memories. And the reason you want to use music to your advantage, a pro of music, is it makes memories more memorable and stick out in your mind. And it's kind of like a social lubricant. It's kind of like alcohol, dude, but without as many downsides. Let's be real. I mean, I already talked about some of the downsides of music, but in a social setting, I don't think it has many downsides. I mean, unless you're not really you're only connecting with people over the music, sure. You're only being friends with them because you like the same music. That's kind of like why you're friends with them in the first place, dude. You don't have the same values or like fucking hobbies or whatever. But I mean, music's a hobby, but I mean, I wouldn't just be friends with them just because you like the same artist or same song. I think it's kind of stupid. But, you know, you do you. I think a big problem now, this is kind of a side tangent, just people consider everyone their friends, even if you just talk to them for like 2 minutes a day. It's like, nah, I'd say like, there's a difference between like a friend and like an acquaintance, dude. If you're acquainted with someone, it could be your classmate, your whatever, you know, some guy you dap up in the halls. But then, like, do you really know that person on a deep level? Do you really fucking vibe and mesh with that person? I don't know if I'd call that a friend if you don't, you know? Now, back to focusing on the vibe of the music. I love fucking rap. I have, like, a playlist of, like, 2,000 fucking mostly rap songs, some R&B. But I just love how beats can just sound and the multi-textured just layers of a beat and the bass and just how it makes you feel, especially with all these new wave like rage artists. It's so interesting to me that the beat is what makes their music work and click for me and for millions of other listeners, you know. And you just got to realize, folks, that vibe is so cool and it's so fucking awesome that sometimes it's too awesome. That's why you want to listen to it all day, you know? It's like, fuck, I can't, like, sometimes you listen to a song so good, and then you listen to another song, it's like, dude, like, I just want to go back to that song. Like, it's like a fucking repeat. It's literally like a little drug sometimes. And I'd say to really benefit from music, I know it's a big commitment to not listen to music your whole life. I mean, so I'm not saying you do that, but I'd say keep it to at least the most 1 to 2 hours. It matters what those 1 to 2 hours are doing, but ideally, if like 90% of those hours, or those minutes, I say, 'cause it's only 2 hours, but if 90% of those minutes of listening to music are like while doing a secondary task, like if you're in the gym, if you're on a commute, if you're with friends, if it's like something like that to spice up the experience, go for it, dude. But don't just listen to music at like 3 a.m. on your bed when you're heartbroken. Like, I don't think that's gonna serve you. And you might think it will. I mean, you'll create a memory from it, but I don't think it'll be a positive memory. Because a lot of these artists, especially sad artists, they just soak people into a trap of just self-deprecating themselves and making them feel bad instead of not changing their lives. Because they think it's okay to be sad 24/7. And sure, it is, but who wants to feel sad 24/7? I for sure don't. So yeah, use music to your advantage. I love music. I love life, dude. Last thing, I wouldn't recommend listening to music the first 3 to 6 hours of the day. Use those times your brain's most alert. If you see a chart, your brain peaks in like dopamine and serotonin right when you wake up, right to take like a cold shower in the morning, especially coffee in the morning helps. Use those hours to get work done, lock in your schoolwork, lock in your business, lock in gym, whatever best caters to you. But don't just like instantly fry your brain within 10 minutes of waking up, listening to like an hour of music while like just like wandering your house's like hallways, dude. I used to do that, and then the rest of the day I'd feel lazy as shit and then have a 10-hour screen time. So I'm just warning you guys, you know, it's also kind of, music can be a reward for me. It's like after a long school day, I'm just hyped as fuck driving in my new car to the gym with some cool music. It's like, yeah, it's like a reward for getting through hard times and hard work. And especially later in the day, it feels great to just sit down, especially when your brain's not at peak performance at like fucking 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m. It's kind of like nodding off a lot, getting ready for bed. So just listening to like, it's kind of like having background music on sometimes. And it just, you don't have to really focus on the lyrics. You just focus on the vibe and the energy you're feeling from the music. And, you know, you're just making your life just feel like, it's almost like you're a hippie. You're just like so in love with the song in the moment right now. Instead of just hyper fixing, you're just like enjoying it for what it is, basically. You're not hyper fixating on it and just being addicted to the dopamine it gives you. That's all I have for you guys today. I love music. I love life. Keep listening to your music, but tone that shit down, and maybe also change out some of your rap music try new styles. Try like EDM. Try like, I don't know, fucking some pop here and there, dude. Expand your music listening genres. So much good shit out there. And, you know, it's dangerous how good this shit is, basically. That's what my point is. Yeah. Have a good rest of your day. Love music. Love life. Peace out, guys. Have a good rest of your day.